I've thought over a million times how I want to make this video. How I was going to explain my absence in a way that wasn't too depressing or too blasé. I considered not even posting a "Hey, I'm back" video in the first place, or maybe making it a short. But I knew one way or another I had to talk about it at some point. So, here it goes, I guess. Hi, I'm Mirasketch, I make comics, and I like drawing pretty girls, and I royally f***ed up my hands doing it. Wow, okay, there you go. It's out there. Now, I promise this video is not just gonna be me moaning about my health issues or lecturing you to stretch, which you should. Come on, don't make me go Dora the Explorer on your ass, vamonos. But, as you can probably see, I wear a brace to draw now. I've been to 3 different physiotherapists, a hand specialist, got half diagnosed with 3 different things before I was finally told, hey, it's overuse, you did it to yourself, which, to be fair, I kind of already knew. So now I'm back, obviously. So it's better than it was before. It still gives me a lot of trouble along with my back and my shoulders, which are more than likely linked, but you know, I'm living with it. I have a daily exercise routine, and I set Pomodoro timers for stretching, and of course, I have my lovely live stream viewers keeping me accountable. Why can't I say the word accountable? So, yeah, that's me. Now, in the last year, I've found myself having an identity crisis. If I couldn't draw, what would I do? The answer to that apparently was watch a ton of anime and suffer, but I digress. But while I've been absent, something else has been brewing in the art community. AI. Specifically AI art, or as many people prefer, AI-generated images. Look, I've never been one to fuss about the definition of art. I think it's personal to everyone, honestly. But this, it hits a nerve. I thought about the hours I wasted working on illustrations that I had little passion for, but hoped people would like. How, when my hands started to get bad, those illustrations were the first to go. I thought about how years prior, when I was first learning, the worst thing you could be labeled as was a tracer. And now, the technology exists to the point where people can just type in some words and push a button and bam! Hours of work and years of practice, irrelevant. The thing I loved so completely, to the point where I let it physically break me, was rendered obsolete and antiquated by strings of code. I've never been someone who places a great level of importance to the meaning behind illustrations or the process behind their creation. Personally, art has always been an outlet in which I am able to release the stories that live in my head. I love making it, I love the process, but I don't put great value into how every line gets placed on the canvas or how each stroke represents my style or inner workings. I like doing line art because it's relaxing. I like sketching funny expressions on my characters and having their acting convey their emotions. I love that. But my art style? Is it unique? I mean, in my opinion, not really. And no, this is not me giving you permission to AIify you thieving shits. I just mean, I've started to remember to place more value on my own creativity in subject matter and storytelling. Like, yeah, I can draw some hot girls, but now I mostly do that for my own enjoyment. My stories and characters, though, they're mine. They represent aspects of myself I don't often show. They've gone through things I never speak about, and they live in worlds I desperately wish to escape to. That's my relationship with art, I suppose. I found a love in comics, and honestly, if I could do one thing for the rest of my life, that would be it. Returning to making them after my break has been like returning home after a long time away. I forgot how much I do enjoy that tactile process of making them. All this being said, if you've watched this channel before, you know how much I advocate for and employ the use of time-saving assets in my webcomic, some of which I've made myself, and others that are the work of other talented individuals who allow its usage. Never have I been okay with stealing. And even with the license usage, I think accounting for time, place, and occasion is important. So, in a sense, I'm not opposed to this technology existing in its purest form. Whether it's made into a tool like CSP's own shading assist, or if an artist chooses to compile their own work into generated images. But that's not how it's being used, and it's probably an idealistic viewpoint at best. Essentially what I'm trying to say is, I feel like I've taken a nap and I've woken up in a position that I never really expected. My place in the industry is even more unsure than it was before, and that's scary, as it is for a lot of artists. Now, let's be real. I don't have a huge following. Never have. In fact, the most exposure I've gotten is from this very YouTube channel. But hey, if this video blows up, drop a like and subscribe for your girl. I promise I won't be such a downer in the next video. Regardless of that, I have been trying to make a name for myself in this little corner of the internet, and I've been competing with algorithms that want content pumped out daily, hourly, as fast as humanly possible, and now, inhumanly possible. And who knows, maybe the barrage of crap content put out by AI will create an atmosphere where people don't mind waiting a second for something that feels real, or, well, will be drowned out, pushed to the bottom, and unfortunately, I'm just one girl who has zero control over that outcome. The only control I have is over myself, and thankfully, I've adapted a lot in my life, and I know I can do it again. In conclusion, I've always made art, and I always will. That's just how my brain works. Recently, I've had to consider what I would do if I physically couldn't anymore, so at the moment, I'm choosing to be thankful I can continue to do what I love. While I definitely harbor some bitterness for people who are taking advantage of other artists' skill and labor, today, I'm choosing to be optimistic for my own creative journey going forward. And I hope you'll still join me on it, even if it goes a little slower. Have a good night, y'all.